Yes, yes, y'all, and it don't stop. 1, 2, y'all, and it don't quit. Shouts out to the Breakfast Club. They just got the BET deal. Oh my goodness. They are now going to be seen on television all across the country starting on April 17th of this month. You'll be able to see, who will be able to see? DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God, The Breakfast Club, with whoever's going to be the celebrity co-host that they bring on there. That's right. What's up? Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the page if you're new here. I am Carcino, and there is a big catch. There's a big catch in this situation, people, and we're going to get to that. So everyone, sign up. The Patreon is on fire. I released all the DMs between me and that convicted felon, so people could read it and get their own termination out of it. Instead of listening to people go back and forth, now you can go and make your own assumptions, because now you have the context in full. So if you're a Patreon, VIP Patreon member, you get to see it all. Now, the Breakfast Club has this deal, right? Many may ask, after looking at the deal, like, that seems like a pretty good deal, right? Doesn't seem pretty bad. Now, let's get to the gist of things. The Breakfast Club got this deal after they got rid of, or it was a parting of the ways with Angela Yee. Her show didn't get a BET deal. Y'all didn't notice that? Her show didn't get BET or VH1. So why did they have to partner with VH1? Because iHeartRadio is now a part and connected with VH1 as usual. And this is why the Revolt deal fell through. Revolt, they look at numbers. They look at what's hot and what's not. When the Breakfast Club was hot, Revolt came through and said, here's the bag. They've been on the air for about 13 years. So when they looked at the bag and they got the bag, they said, okay, great. The show is hot. You got all the guests coming through. This is interesting. I like this. Then Revolt saw what I saw in the past 2 years. It's actually been 3. They're dying out. It got stale. No interesting guests are coming on the show anymore. People thinking it's trash, and the people who do visit it's like, it's okay. They're there to sell whatever they got going on, but nobody really cares. So it dies on the vine. Thank you. Hit the like button so they can know that you're real and you're not bots. Here's where it gets tricky. Now, when everyone was making these assumptions and everyone was jumping the gun, and doing whatever fit them, doing whatever they liked, how they liked, when they liked, nobody had anything to say. Nobody said a word. The Breakfast Club could do no wrong. But everyone over on the show, as I told you back then when I said the Breakfast Club might be over, remember the Gucci Man incident? So after the Gucci Man incident, Angela Yee and Charlamagne had problems. But before that, Charlamagne's success on the show was hurting the overall brand, because now he's thinking he needs to renegotiate his value because they all got individual contracts. So he's thinking, look, even though this is Envy's show, I'm the biggest thing on the show and I need to be paid accordingly. He's in the net, and iHeart knows it. So he didn't go in with the collective idea of this is for the team. He thinking you guys should be grateful I stuck here this long. So when someone comes in with that kind of disappreciation for you, and they've already started sabotaging my page. What's up, Nicole? When someone comes in with that kind of disdain towards you, but it was before that. That Gucci interview was just the icing on the cake, because he really didn't do anything wrong. He just interviewed her, but it just highlighted what's been going on behind the scenes. Because behind the scenes, they felt a certain way, that Charlamagne was moving in the way he was moving. He got way more disrespectful. He was entirely disrespectful. He started talking any kind of way because he had a rapport and relationship with the owners of iHeartRadio, the president at that time of iHeartRadio, before he retired. Him and Charlamagne was text buddies. And was allegedly sexting each other. And sexting meant means sending sexual, explicit text messages to each other. Now, with that being said, yes, and that person is a man. And that man's name is Robert Pittman, the former senior vice president of iHeartRadio. Y'all don't know this already? Y'all must be new here. Hit the like button, people. That allegedly happened. And Charlamagne said, those are just joke text messages. That's how they joke with each other. Like, none of it's literal, it's just jokes. But a senior vice president joking with one of his employees? Like that? It's kind of weird. But needless to say, he's no longer attached to iHeartRadio. He stepped down. Why? No one knows. Guess we'll figure that out one day. Now, since everybody was in their own deals and their feelings, it was time to renegotiate the contract before Revolt's contract ended. So 6 months prior, they were going to have a meeting with iHeartRadio. Angela Yee is still there. Everything. And Revolt is like, look, numbers are down. This is down, this is down, this is down. They wanted to blame COVID. Feeling that Revolt didn't support them enough or give them enough support. They were the #1 show for this many years. Revolt didn't come through with more bonuses or raises. They didn't come through with better opportunities for the rest of them. They felt their worth was deserving of more. And Revolt felt they made them a great offer based on the numbers and their history. They just felt differently. Now, how many of y'all hit the like button? My Cash App is Carcino. Thank you guys who hit the Cash App. God bless you. I appreciate it. Yes, Cash App is Carcino. Carceno. Hit the like button coming through the door. Appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new. So after they canceled the deal, or they walked away from the deal, Angela Yee was still on the team. They were starting to shop other deals as that was the final offer from Revolt, and they're already saying we're going to leave. We're stepping away from Revolt. We're not going to be with Revolt. So, even Revolt Television. And Revolt's like, fine. So they were already in negotiations with another network. But the deal only got done seemingly once Angela Yee wasn't going to be part of it. The negotiations started and didn't seem to be any movement until Angela Yee was gone. Then all of a sudden, BET comes in with a partnership with VH1 to do Charlamagne and DJ Envy. And what they promote is they sit there on the show and flirt with one another. Two grown men pretend to be gay on the show for ratings. And when DJ Envy goes out and does his other projects, because they all have their separate businesses that they do. DJ Envy's in real estate, and he does his car shows. And when he's at the car shows, people walk up to him, like real men, real people. And they go, what the hell? The hell did I listen to today? And he's like, look, I just want to be clear, make it clear to everyone. I'm a happily married man. I'm not gay. Even though me and Charlamagne play gay on the radio, I'm just not. I'm straight. There's nothing going on. And like, that's just for the show. Why is that just for the show? BET is operated by a man who's openly homosexual, who wears a dress or skirt into the office. His sexuality is known. And there's a lot of the Skittles crew working at BET. And immediately, once Angela Yee is gone, here comes the deal for the two men that pretend to be gay on the radio. Now it's going to be on television in all of your homes to see them do this act. Why is that? Why they didn't get this deal with Angela Yee there? Now that it's all males, basically, doing feminine acts on the radio, no testosterone in the place whatsoever, no woman really there unless they're a guest speaker on the microphone. And they wonder why no one watches the show anymore. They wonder why the ratings are down. People only listen to the Breakfast Club on the radio in New York in the morning on their way to work. Now, other people, they go out and they blame the music. They say, well, it's the music. The music's been whack. Since the music's been whack, that means the show must be whack. And they say you only go as far as the music. Now they don't really play music like that because there's nothing really hot out that somebody don't already have because of the streaming services. Why listen to the radio when you can just make your own playlist and go to work? But some people like to listen to talk radio. But you're not getting no information by listening to the Breakfast Club. They're not really breaking news anymore. It's become decadent. You have other people doing their job better. So it's like you're tuning in for the personalities. But nobody's really interested in there because they don't have anyone interesting really showing up. And that's because everybody's into too many other side projects that the Breakfast Club just became boring to them. It became a job. iHeart started replacing all of them, starting with Charlamagne, DJ Envy, and Ye. They thought of replacing all three like 2-3 years ago. Just saying, let's just keep this thing young, get some young energy in here because they're getting old. Like these dudes are like 40s and finna be in their 50s soon. Like they're so out of touch with everything that's going on in the new age. So if you are a record company and you want to send your persons to the Breakfast Club, you're going to send your young 19, 20-year-old artists in there to talk to Envy and Charlamagne, who's not going to understand their music. See, this is how they destroyed all music altogether. Jazz got destroyed the same way. The blues, rock and roll. They destroyed it the same way because it's something they didn't create. And they didn't have any control over it at first, and now they control all of it. Well, when you pervert the music, that's the most influential music that's ever been created. Hip hop. Everybody's gonna say, no, it's rock, dude. Hip hop hits all age genres, even the old. Because the people that don't like it, most of them are passing away now. And then, like the pioneers, they're in their 60s. Of course, that's what I said. That's how they destroyed rock and roll. See, it was rock and roll. Then they changed it to rock. And then they start putting it in different groups. Classic rock, pop rock, shock rock, metal rock. You see, then it gets away from its original source. But Chuck Berry is the father of rock and roll. We created blues, jazz. There used to be jazz. We had to go. So the music was fixed to become more commercialized. Blues, same way. You listening to rap now? People still listen to old school rap. They still listen to Biggie. They still listen to Biggie, Pac, Nas. They listen to old stuff. They love the 90s. And even the younger people still bump to the 90s. Everybody took from Chuck Berry. He's the father of rock and roll. Right. They drop a plant in it and they ruin it, and they take the music and pervert it, and then they take over the whole industry because we're so concerned about the product we see with our own eyes. We're not worried about what's on the paperwork. And the paperwork is what's burying you. Little Richard, I would say Chuck Berry before Little Richard is the father of rock and roll. But if you want to say both of them, you can say both of them. James Brown wasn't rock and roll. James Brown was soul. He was the guy that created funk, soul funk. They had no category for James. James was the best choreographer of music that probably ever was. James know what something should sound like. And he'll have it in his head. And he will make and work with the band to get the music to sound the way he hears it in his head. And it's not, might not be on set. It might not be set up in a sequence that makes sense to people. But when you start hearing those drums come in, hey, Mr. Bird, come. I mean, it just was off. Like, it's so many off notes that you would never put in there with a key and a drum. Like, you got a 2 and a 3 together. It's like, whoa. You got a 2-4 mixed with a 3, a 1 and a 3, back to back. You're like, whoa. James could hear that, and only James could have that music. You knew James Brown music. Other people couldn't even play that. They were just like, it sounds wrong when we're playing it, because musically it is wrong. But it sounds right when they put it together. When James put all that together, it is a masterpiece. I'm like, man, James put that together. This is before all the dancing. James ain't choreographer a move. That's how James was feeling when he was dancing. The music made him move. James just be moving, baby. And that's how Michael Jackson used to dance. He used to watch James Brown and go because that's what he knew. And that's why he used to just kick his leg in there, because that was a natural reaction for him. It wasn't a choreographed move. Michael be jumping up and down. Back in he had this since his early days. If the music is hitting him and it's feeling right, man, he would be jumping up and down, running up out and down the halls, and he'd be like, "What's wrong, Michael?" "Nothing, it's the music feels so good." I'd be like, man, Michael's like feeling it. Oh, they kicked me off. Oh man, they done kicked off my subscribers, everybody. So it was a natural feeling. So everyone was involved and engaged into the music. And now, how many people listen to soul funk? You don't really see too many funk bands anymore. You know, Prince, he evolved his music in a circle and came back around to funk, like the James Brown sound. So he went full circle and came back around towards funk before his demise. So he made a whole circle and came back around to funk. Prince had the blues, he has jazz, classical, funk, rap, hip hop. He had everything on an album. And the most unique thing about him is his ability to create. He's one of the most creative, talented individuals that have probably ever existed. Not because he could play every instrument. He knows how to choreograph and write. He could write a song. And he wrote songs for people you guys ain't even heard of. And then you heard the song 1,000 times and be like, wait a minute, Prince wrote that? But the way he constructs music makes him unique. If you listen to When Doves Cry, that's why you hear the Revolution, as great as they was as a band, they never were gonna be nothing without Prince. Prince wrote the music. And I love how people try to tell me about Purple Rain. I'm like, that's for the movie. Okay? Prince wrote that music. He wrote the words. He wrote everything for Purple Rain. The actual song, that was just for the movie. Yeah, so like if you listen to When Doves Cry, it's classical music in there, the violins and everything. It's like violins, soul music mixed with rock, and mostly classical. It was more of classical music in When Doves Cry than anything. Yeah. It's all classical. I want to be your lover, funk. I want to be your. Yeah, that's his funk, man. But the violin sound is not even a real violin. It's giving off the appearance of a violin sound, but it's actually a synthesizer. And synthesizers were the key back then, but you needed an engineer or somebody who really understood music. As great as Rick James was, Rick James could not program no synthesizer. So when he had all their synthesizer workers, because he stole them from Prince, they stole all Prince keyboards, and it was already programmed. The synthesizer sound was programmed already, so they used them all for the album when he made Rick James' biggest album. He was a band. Hey, Rick returned them with a note. Thank you. Rick returned them with a note. Rick was, I waited till he bought some new ones. Then I gave him his old ones back. Shouldn't have disrespected the crew. Oh yeah, on the Patreon, we do have the Charlie Murphy Bodyguard Stories. Episode 4 is coming up. It's the longest episode we ever did. It's more of a Eddie Murphy story than it is a Charlie story. Charlie's in the middle of it. But Charlie come in near the end of the story. So I had to tell the story in full so you can get it. Because it was like everybody was hating on Ian. And Charlie just started this bodyguarding thing, man. He finding out everybody's like, who's supposed to be showing him love is hating on him. And Charlie was ready to go. I'll just tell you one part of the story. Charlie's ready to kick a man as soon as he come out of the bathroom. As soon as he kick out, man, I'm going to kick him in his heart and make his effing liver fall out. As soon as he come out of that bathroom, I'm going to kick him right in his damn heart. Kick him so hard his liver going to fall out. That's the only part of it I'm going to tell you about what happened. The rest, you got to hear about it on the Patreon. Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. To me, they're unique in their own ways. Michael needs help to make his music. Well, Prince does too, in a way. But Prince's own arrogance, he's so talented, he's arrogant. Like, he knows he's good. Well, they were gonna work together on the Bad album. Bad was a Prince versus Michael Jackson album. Prince was supposed to be where the Wesley Snipes character is. That was supposed to be Prince. They were supposed to have a battle in the subway to see who's bad. But it's on Michael Jackson's album, so Michael's gonna win. Prince had an album coming out too. which is a lot. That album came out and ended up being a lot of people's favorite. It's a lot of people's favorite Prince album. Yep, sign of the times. Now, here's the thing. Sign of the times don't sound like Purple Rain. Bad had a lot of songs that sounded a lot like Thriller. Just a little bit different. I like the Bad album almost more than I like the Thriller album. Thriller was like the first time you heard something like that in a row, that many hits in a row, like in a row. It ain't never been done like that. Plus the videos elevated the songs. Like Billie Jean video came out and it took it to a whole new plateau. I remember we stayed up all night long waiting to see the video. Michael Jackson, the premiere of his video. It premiered at like 2 in the morning. I swear it was that late at night. It just kept going on, kept going on. Then finally it premiered. The Billie Jean video. Swear it came on at like 2 in the morning, and from that moment on, it was on. I'm sweaty. It was on. Non-stop. The radios everywhere. That kicked right off. Off the Wall. You know why Off the Wall is not looked at, and it should be, as a classic, is because it's kind of dated. It was dated to, it's the more disco sounding album. Because everybody was caught in that disco phase. That club, that Studio 54. Don't stop thinking about. So you want to be starting something. You got to be starting something. You got to get over. But I was like, man, I used to love that album. That album was great. She's Out of My Life. Man, that was... Mike had a classic. And then they screwed him at the Grammys. So when he came back with Thriller, it changed the game. Music videos has never been the same again. I mean, Michael Jackson videos was like movies. So they elevated the songs. So when Bad came out, the Bad video was a movie. It was on CBS. They did a whole Michael Jackson 2.5 hour feature. Speaking on Michael, everything. It was like 2.5 hours. Sat down and interviewed everybody, talked about the album, working on the album, what they did for the album, who did this on the album. Then they finally premiered the Bad video, and oh my God. Well, Smooth Criminal video is from a movie. Now, see, that's when it was different. Michael Jackson was doing a movie at the time called Moonwalker. And that's what the Bad album was about. It was too much. It was a lot of marketing going on at the time. So the movie Moonwalker is out there, and that's a part of the movie. Smooth Criminal comes out, and they do that scene in there, and Michael's out there. He's trying to save the kids from, I forgot, who was it, Joe Pesci, who's the villain, and Michael Jackson turns into a transformer, into a big gigantic robot. I mean, the ending is real crazy. And then Joe Pesci end up hitting the kids. Michael threatened him, do it and you're dead. I'm just like, Michael Jackson delivered a threat is just hilarious. Ow! Ow! Do it and you're dead. He was going around throwing glitter at everybody, spinning. Ow! Oh, Liberian Girl, that wasn't, the whole thing is they just had a party, everybody was there, and they ended up just filming that, making that the video, and Michael came down, and that was it. So Liberian Girl was just everybody there, just like, just all in a gathering, other room. Oh yeah, that's the bad release after Billie Jean's release. And then Thriller, the Thriller movie, nobody liked the Thriller song. Let me tell you, I told y'all about that before. Nobody liked Thriller. Thriller was like the least played song on the album until they came out with the music video for Thriller. It was over. It was over. Thriller was never going to be a song. It was changed. It was called Starlight. Cause this is Starlight. It was called Starlight. Michael Jackson changed it to a horror thing and turned it into Thriller, which was the smartest decision ever made. Starlight. Yep. Michael just like, this song ain't hitting like I thought. And they had Carousel that didn't make the album. Carousel's a great song, but they had to cut it. It was like, do you keep Human Nature, Baby Be Mine, you know, and what you gonna cut to put Carousel on the album? Because back then, you know, they had the record. So record is only so much space. So it's like, we got to cut a song, man. Well, what you going to cut off of Thriller? So the video, you know, it is what it is. They gave Madonna, like, MTV gave Madonna something, Artist of the Year or something. Man, they had to make that up to Michael Jackson so quick. Like, Madonna's, like, her Brave videos, and so she's getting Video Artist of the Decade. Michael Jackson made a phone call immediately. Michael was like, that's when the voice don't get light no more. Michael B, they did what? Oh no, that's some bullshit. Go ahead, Mike. No, I'm calling their asses right now. I want the president. Has Madonna has Madonna made Thriller? Has Madonna made Billie Jean? Did she make Beat It? Did she make the Bad video? Remember the Times? Oh, Remember the Time saved the album. Because when he came out with Black or White, everybody went that black or white. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. Everybody was, what the hell is this? And that was the first time people ever saw the technology of morphing. When they can morph people, and see that technology never was revealed anywhere until you saw it in that video. And that was the coolest part of it. It was, whoa, look at that. Nobody had ever seen morphing before. So that's how it looked. I ain't afraid of no brother. I ain't afraid of no sheets. And he was like, why is Michael Jackson afraid of sheets? I'm like, y'all gotta understand. I was like, no, he was talking about like the Klan. Oh. So he came out and they was like, man, the way Mike looked, they was like, see, y'all didn't understand. We didn't know what Michael Jackson was gonna look like. It wasn't like they were showing Mike like now. Nobody had seen Michael Jackson. So you didn't know what he was gonna look like. And when he came out, he looked like a Puerto Rican. We was like, they got a lot of makeup on Michael Jackson. So that song came out. That didn't resonate with a lot of the brothers. They wasn't playing Black and White in the hood. I'm gonna tell you that now. Black and White wasn't getting no play. It's black, it's white, it's stuck with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So nobody was playing Black and White. That was for the younger generation of the that was for everybody else. So when Remember the Time, Mike always had that philosophy. He was aware of what music he was releasing and how it was released. He knew the urban contemporary song has to come next. Like when he did Bad, he knew a lot of brothers probably wasn't gonna vibe with Bad, but the brothers did vibe with Bad, so that's a double bonus. Bad wasn't for the brothers. I'm bad. Dun, 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 dun. But the brothers thought they were bad too. Yeah, I'm bad. So the brothers, hey, brothers love Bad, so that worked. Double bonus. But that wasn't the song that was for us. The way you make me feel, the way you make me feel. Hey, Mike got a jam. So everybody knew. The way you make me feel, that is the urban contemporary song. So the way you make me feel is going to be the urban contemporary hit. So he followed the same pattern. The rock music, Black and White. He knows we ain't playing that but once. And after that, he came out with Remember the Time. Hey, on the phone. Yeah, too far, too big. What about us, girl? That's right. Remember the Time, baby. So Remember the Time became, man, I love the Earth song. Mike always got one of those. He comes with the urban contemporary, then he comes with the unified humanitarian song. You know, man in the mirror. I'm talking to the man in the mirror. It's like, yeah, save the world, make a change. Then he come out with the Earth song. We killing all the homelands, the animals. The Free Willy song. Mike had a system, baby, and it was working. Then y'all made him mad. And all Mike's songs was angry. You got angry, Mike. Boy, that History album, boy, he was angry. I was like, this is angry, Mike. Here, he needed to get this out of his chest. Made me want to scream. I was like, Mike was cussing and everything. Stop fucking with me. I was, whoa, Michael Jackson pissed. Make me wanna scream. Stop messing with me. Stop fucking with me. I was like, whoa, Mike, tell him. Makes me. Mike was so good at saying words that was way off. They didn't know what it was. They didn't even get a warning sticker. No, Prince always explained that when it come about because Quincy Jones brought Prince in there and they played the song and the music. He was like, right when he says, your bud is mine. He was like, first of all, his opening line is, your bud is mine. First of all, I'm like, you ain't gonna be saying that to me, and I damn sure ain't gonna be saying that to you. Prince heard it and was like, nah, this ain't for me. Trust me, the song is nice. It's gonna do what y'all want it to do. You don't need me for this song. So, you don't think Prince made better music? That's the genius of Prince, because Prince is different. He made different music. He made music. He's a real musician. More than Prince. Michael is more of a instinctive artist. Prince is more the guy that's gonna take the risk. When he made Purple Rain, his next album didn't sound anything like Purple Rain. You didn't even know it came out. Prince dropped like 2 albums back to back after Purple Rain, like during the Purple Rain run. People think Kiss is on that album. Kiss isn't. He had another #1 song on another album. Then he came out with the album Around the World in a Day. That album, that's way, way different. And that's actually a song he didn't create. Someone else had wrote it and Prince bought it from him. And he said, can I use this song? I want to use this song here, this music, this sound. How did you make this sound? So he taught Prince how to make that sound. It's had a totally different instrument. So Prince started playing that, and that was the theme for the whole album. The only song that you recognize from there is that album is Raspberry Beret. She had a raspberry beret, the kind you find in the second-hand store. That's the only song people remember on it. A lot of people don't remember that song. Around the world in a day. Quality, not quantity. No, Prince put out a lot of music because he's a musician first. He's not trying to make that. He's going to take the risk. See, you might think he made better music because when you make a lot of music, a great album should not be loved by every single individual. Every single song should appease to a person or a group of people that like that song. That's how you have a classic album. When you have some people arguing over which was the best song on the album, Be like, yeah, I love that one, but I can't stand number 3 and 4. Somebody be like, those are the best songs on the album, fool. Because they like whatever that 3 and 4 sounds like. That's why you shouldn't have an album where all the songs sound the same. And with Michael, he had a hard time escaping the sameness. And that's what happened on the History album. It was sounding just like typical Michael. He wasn't changing with the times. That's why on Invincible, oh baby, Invincible, Mike was back to being Mike. That was some of his best work because it was more up to date with still keeping his flavor. Yeah, that's what it was. So Prince is unique because some of the songs he do, no one else can follow him. Like somebody can't take Prince's music and follow it. They just screw it up. They wouldn't even know how to do that. All you have to do is listen to Love Me to the Nines by Prince and say, this guy is just a genius. I can't, who could put this together like this? This dude has rap, like classical, rock, all in one song. And he's speaking in poetry almost. The whole rhyme, the whole song is like a poem, asking a question over and over again. Would you love me if we walk the street? If you love me, would you stay away for 14 hours listening to the grass grow? I ask thee, would you, could you, would you love me through the night? To the night, for all times, to the nines, to the nines, to the nines. Y'all got me ready listening to the nines. I should get that there. Yeah, that's what I say. Most musicians are inspired by Prince. Like Prince, he's the kind of guy that inspires musicians or people that love music and how it's constructed. And when they hear something that's different and odd, they go, wow, I didn't know you could do that. How could you do that? And he makes it work. Like, how did he put those instruments on top of each other? Like, they just hear the scale because a musician can take things out of the song. Like, they could separate it just by listening to it. What you're listening to, the music and stuff, they know how to block out certain things and find a distinctive sound that they're listening to in the song. Like, dun, 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 dun. That's what engineers listen for. And like they have a distinctive ear. You can listen to a song and black it out and get the skeleton out of it. Well, it's hard for a writer and an artist to be told what they doing is wrong or this part they should change. Can you imagine telling Prince he needs to change something? I mean, exactly. He created his alter ego. He created Morris Day. He the one told him, your name is going to be Morris Day. Prince owns the name, the time, and Morris Day. He owns that name. Right now, since Prince passed away, he allowed Morris to take that name and to call himself Morris Day. He didn't mind. Now, the new people that's running it is trying to tell Morris he can't use the name Morris Day no more while he go out and perform. That's ridiculous. Even when Morris and Prince wasn't talking no more, he never stopped him from using the name Morris Day. Man, I thought I was Morris Day. I had a Morris Day party. When I was a kid in grammar school, I had a Morris Day party. I was dressed up like Morris. Oh, I gotta sit on my throne, baby. The king. King Casino, baby. Oh, yeah. King Casino. Morris had, yeah, he created his alter ego. So it was genius by Prince to create his own competition and write for him. So it was a lot of different things that transpired. Yep. So anyway, man, I'm out. Y'all have a blessed day. Yeah, we covered the Charlamagne part early before we start getting into the history of music, so we got away from that because we were already done. So everybody thought that this was better to do. I'm out.